Hi, it's me, Cherie. I just wanted to do a little tutorial for you today on how I'm going to lighten this up. I know I've done one before, but I'm just going to do something slightly different with this one today. I've got to lighten her up for a vivid class that I'm doing, so she's going to be nice and blonde, and I'm just going to show you how I do one of my balayages, but a little bit differently. I'm not going to do a weave today, I'm just going to do just teasy foils. So I'm going to start at the back, 4 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll start putting them in at the back, and then I'll come around to the front, and I usually will just kind of put them in on an angle like that, yeah. So I have got bleach and 20 vol mixed up in here, and I'm just going to show you how I start. Just taking that first quarter panel, like just behind her ear. This is the thing when you're doing vivids, you know, it involves a lot of lightening. I feel like 80% of the work I do is just bleaching people's hair. So it is important to know how to do it. And when I do it this way, I usually won't do a root fade. Like, I usually just go straight over the top with vivids. My gloves. I actually do wear gloves for this, and you'll see why in a minute. And a towel to wipe my hands. I'm just going to start by showing you one side at a time. A bit easier to try and catch that on the camera. So thickness will just kind of depend on how light you want the hair to go and how thick the hair is. Obviously, the thicker the hair, you'd probably take finer sections, but I am doing sections that are going to be a bit more on the thick side because honestly, I just want to get this done. I don't want to be here all day doing my mannequins. So I will take the section like this. I will give it a tease, a really good tease, because that's going to help you just diffuse that line. I'm sure you already know that if you're a hairdresser that does a lot of balayage. Bit of a messy brush, but it'll do. Now I'll hold the hair out, I'll just feather it on, and I'll do just like a nice little balayage type V, you know, depending like how close you want to get it. It all depends what sort of look you want, but I want a darker like base. So I'm going to just keep this a little bit lower. So once I've got the feathering in there, then I take my hand, just back up a little bit so you can see. So I take my hand and I kind of use it like a balayage board, and I'll swipe like that. And just with my hand, I just kind of make sure that it's really thoroughly saturated before it goes into the foil. That's my little secret. So it's a bit of a messy job to do. As you can see, that's why I've got my towel so that I can wipe my hands constantly. But it just kind of allows me to take thicker sections and just get it done a bit quicker, you know. So then I'll just lay that on. And if you want to go and reapply, by all means, just to be, you know, even extra thorough, just reapply more product. So it's super duper saturated. And now I'm going to just close her up. Making sure that like you want to have foil that's long enough so that when you do this fold, this isn't going to end up there because that's going to mess with your lines. So just make sure you've got long enough foil. And I'll just give it one fold. Right, just like that, and then I'm just going to move up the head. Take my next section. You can see that slight angle. And again, give her a tease. Whack some bleach on, holding the hair out 90 degrees from the head. Some sections I like to do the balayage V, some sections I like to do the W. Just mixes it up a bit, you know, so it's not too uniform. Saturate. It's not really a method I would use like if I wanted to take someone a platinum blonde, but a lot of the times, like if I'm just doing some vivids, if I'm just doing some pinks and purples and that kind of thing and I need to get this done quickly, this is the method that I'll use. If you watched my other blonde transformation tutorial, that was a bit more technical where I did actually add in a weave. Like that would be more ideal for someone who does actually want to be blonde, but just for like vivid preps, I find that this is quite often enough, and I'm already spending like 5 or 6 hours with my client, so you know, I want to just get it done. That's 2 foils. See how I'm just keeping that slight angle in there. Give her a big tease. Last section I did was kind of like a W, so this section I'm going to paint a V. Just mixing it up. And you can stagger them, like, you know, I might do some slightly closer to the root, and then I might do some sort of more further down. The more variation, I think, the better. You just want to really avoid making anything too uniform, you know. So I'm using my hand to really saturate. Just a hands-on kind of hairdresser. I just have to touch everything, you know. And then I know, like, I've physically pushed that bleach through there. I know it's saturated. Otherwise, a lot of the time I feel like if I just put the hair on and paint it there, I'm really not saturating it enough. That's just how I feel. Everyone's going to be different, but that's just me. Double Dutch it. Fold her up and I'll just work up through the head. Easy. I do like to get a bit closer when I come to the face though, I will admit. You'll see that when I come around the front of her face, I will like make an effort to get a little bit closer in there, but I'll show you that when I get to it. For now, I might just speed this up a little bit for you guys so you can get an idea. So that's the back done, as you can see, and that's taken me about half an hour to get them in. Quite big sections, just trying to get through it, you know. Now I'm moving on to the side. I'm just going to show you how I'm going to approach the side. So this is a very unusual hairline, obviously. We'll just work with it, but usually this is the way I'll go. So like on this kind of an angle, working up like that. So when I get to the top, I'm going this way. I don't really know the technical term, but just watch. I'm going to do the exact same technique, basically, where I'm just going to tease it once or twice, feather it, and wrap it up. But it will come a little bit closer around the face, just personal preference. It's completely up to you how you want to do it. I just like to get a little bit closer, not like right up on the root or anything, but just a little closer. I just wanted to do a little voiceover here and just explain to you what I'm doing with this foil. You might notice when I'm applying the bleach, I'm actually swiping it from side to side. And the reason that I do that is to just help me to really thoroughly saturate the hair. So you'll see me swiping side to side rather than up and down. That's a really good technique to use. And also I am twisting the hair, the ends up into the foil. And the reason that I'm doing that is because my foil here isn't long enough for me to flip it. So I'm kind of doing that with the hair so that when I fold the foil, the ends aren't so long that they're going to come up and touch and dilute where I haven't got bleach, if you see what I mean when I do the fold. Hopefully that makes sense for you. See how I'm just kind of painting that W in there? So it's generally a V or like a W, if you get my drift. I'm sure you know what I mean. I might just show you this, guys, a little bit close up. So I work my way up the head until I start to get to like about the temple. And you can see the angle that I've gone on, and then when I get to here, I'll start doing the front, and I'll just make it a bit more of a severe angle. So the same angle, but just a bit more angled. I hope that makes sense. You'll just have to kind of watch. All right, so I'll do this, and then I'm gonna go like that. You'll get an idea of what I'm doing once you can kind of see it start coming together. Sorry, she's gonna have to look at me for a second. Just paying a bit more attention here though. This is like the fine detailing, you know. So this section I've taken it a little bit finer too, because it's just gonna be the face frame. That money piece. See that? So just gone just a bit closer really. It's this exact same thing that I'm doing, it's just a bit more. Because we just want to see a bit more colour around the face. And yeah, just do it like the same as the rest of them. Paint it on. Make sure it's saturated. Especially make sure there's no like little drops in there. You don't want that in the face. No, thank you. I'm going to just carry this on. You might notice it is going to be a little bit like in your client's face if you do it this way. I just leave it, and then once I'm finished that whole top section, I'll grab these pieces and I'll just kind of fold it so that it's out of my client's face for the time that she's sitting there processing, obviously. But I mean, the hair is always going to be like my #1 priority over client comfort, sorry. But that's me. I want the result. And if that means that I have to put a bit of stuff in my client's face or wash their hair with cold water, then I'm gonna do that. Sorry, guys. Those were the front 2 foils. As I work back, I will not get so close anymore. I'll start kind of going a bit further back like I did with the back ones, so that it all's gonna blend in. So I've got those front 2 in. Now it's looking like I need to put one in here. Yep, and then I'll go like that. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I'm very much a upwards kind of stroker. I've seen some people kind of go down like that, but I actually prefer to stroke up. I just find that works easier for me. And I don't get so much like blobbing. Just spreads the product a bit easier for me. And that's the finished result. So that's taken me about an hour to get in, which is definitely on the faster side of things in comparison to my last technique that I showed you with the blonde transformation, which usually takes me about double. It usually takes me about 2 hours to get that in. So this is just like a much faster alternative if you don't necessarily want to be like a platinum blonde, but you just want a quick lighten up for vivids. So yeah, you can see how I've kind of come on an angle, and I think that's really the key here, is just going up on that angle for the top part for the blend. You'll see what I mean. I'm gonna let her process now. I'm probably gonna go and sit her out in the sun, and once it's finished, I'm gonna give her a good soak in some purple shampoo, just to kind of tone down that yellow as much as I can without actually toning it. leaving that cuticle nice and open and ready for vivids. So I'll show you that once it's done. Hi guys, I'm back with my finished mannequin head for you. I have just let her soak in the purple shampoo like I said I would, just to kind of give it a bit of a tone down because it's come out very yellow of course. And this is the result. So no toner at all, no root fade. That is just pure raw bleach with purple shampoo, and that's the result that I've achieved using this technique. So you can see there's still like quite a lot of dark in there. If you were to compare this to my last one, which I might actually just grab and show you for reference, and if you wanted to see that video, I might just link it in so that you can see it just as a comparison. So this one only took me 1 hour to apply, and the other one, the other technique is more like when you want to go much more blonde, and that took me about 2 hours to get those foils in. From the other video that I did, she's actually been lightened twice now, but you can certainly see by looking at those two, this one's a lot blonder. This one's more of a balayage. So just depends on like what sort of results you want to achieve as to which technique you should use. But this is like one of my go-to favorites when I just want to get that blonde nice and quick. I want a balayage and I just want to kind of prep it for vivids. It doesn't necessarily need to be a platinum blonde, but yeah, this is enough. This will suffice. And now she's prepped and ready for my seminar. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Hope you learnt a little something if you didn't already know how I do mine. And if you did like this video, can you please give me a like and just remember to subscribe for more like these. Bye for now. See you next time.